Hi, it's Candy. Welcome to the Art of Planning, where we're all about pretty on purpose and powerful planning. And you know, that's a theme that I think you're gonna see run through this video. And I am so excited to share with you something I just kind of ran across. Well, actually, I ran across it because I had a great person to help me when I went to the bookstore the other day. So this is Daphne's Diary paper box. I don't know, maybe everybody else knows about it. I did not know about it. And when it says paper box, that's exactly what it is. Can you see? I mean, it's really deep. It's nice and deep. How about that? It's nice and long. I mean, this is a nice, sturdy paper box. It opens like this. And this is what we're looking at, okay? So this was filled to the top with what I am going to show you. Now, the way I ran across it was the day after Christmas, I called Barnes & Noble, which is our local bookstore. It's 120 miles away from us. I'm telling you, we do not live close to anything. But I was going to be taking my mother to a medical appointment the next week, which was actually several days ago. Okay, so when I called them, I was looking for the magazine Flow and or the big book that they put out apparently once a year. Okay, I had just heard about that. I actually have subscribed to, if that's what you call it, to several of the planning workshops that Christy Tomlinson has online, and they have been almost priceless. I have just studied and studied those, so that's a recommendation to any of you people that are kind of new in the planning world. They are just great. They're just filled with great information. So she was talking about this Flow book or this Flow magazine. So I called Barnes & Noble to see if they had it, because I knew I was only going to have this little bitty tiny window to run in to grab something if they had it, and then to run out, because it was going to be a turnaround medical trip. That's the only kind of trips that I take, it seems like these days. So I wanted to make sure they had it, and if they had one, I wanted to put it back, blah, blah, blah. I got a hold of the most wonderful, helpful lady, and we just visited a little bit, and she actually said, when you come in, if you have just a second to look, I have something that I think you'll like better. So there's the story. When I ran in this past week, she had several things that she had pulled for me to look at, one of which was this Daphne's Diary. Now, they had the Flow magazine. They did not have the Flow book for me to look at, but she showed me this Daphne's Diary. We went through it very quickly. I did not have a lot of time, but just with a really quick look, I went ahead and took this. She'd explained some things. We'd looked at it briefly, so I grabbed it and ran. That was kind of a quick decision based upon the fact this is a little pricey, guys. But I had in my mind I was going to get one or the other anyway. I'm sure the Flow book was kind of pricey too. So I decided I wanted to grab this, and that's what I did. So I got home with it, and I just this morning spent some real time looking through it, and oh my goodness, it's just got the most amazing selection, the most amazing, wonderful things in it. So there's my very, very, very long introduction, but I felt like I needed to let you know how I came across it. It was kind of by blind faith that I went ahead and got it, but I had not seen anything on Instagram, on YouTube. I hadn't seen anything anywhere about this, and that's one of the reasons I'm going to share this with you. It's probably going to be a two-part series because of the length. I want to at least show you a glance of some of the things that are in it, because I know that some of you will like some things better than you will the others. I like some things better than I do the others, but everything is absolutely gorgeous, whether it's things I like better or things that I don't like quite as well. The quality is wonderful. The designs are gorgeous, and they are multifaceted too, because we can use them one way or another based upon whether we like them for the way they were designed. And I will tell you that because they let us know how they were designed. So, okay, now we're going to jump into this. And be sure, if you will, after we get finished, I'm going to tell you this now because there's so much and I'm going to be watching a clock. Be sure and give it a thumbs up if you like when we get done, and also subscribe if you like. I would like for you to. That'll be a way of showing that you give us some support. This was in the box, Daphne's Diary paper book, and it's kind of a little bit of a description / instruction paper, although it does not even come close to showing you everything that's in there. At the bottom it's www.daphnesdiary.com, so I guess you can go there and get more information. I don't know if they have other things, if it's part of everything else, but I intend on looking at that, although my goodness, this box has enough things for forever. So let's scoot that over, and I'm going to show you some of the things that are in it. Okay, again, it's going to be in two parts. It will have to be in two parts. This is a little notebook, like just sticky notes type thing. It's got the cute little typewriter and glasses down there. That is the most minimal thing that is in here. After that, we get to a lot of other things. I have put sticky notes on here because it's just going to make it easier for us as we go along. I would not have needed to do that, and I will show you why. Here are some cards that were in it, like cards you can send, include in a gift, like these kind of cards. And they are so gorgeous. Everything has kind of a vintage feel to it. I mean, stunning, right? And, of course, we all know these would be great use in planning or... And then here's a big one. And these are just, they're kind of, I mean, these aren't oversized postcards. I'm not exactly sure how they intend for us to use those, but aren't those gorgeous? The colors, and then here is just another little card that was in there. So those are the cards. I went through and kind of separated them because I didn't exactly have them like that. Okay, those are cards. These are little punch-out cards that all say memory here. Now, this is what I wanted to show you too. These are all, they all have a description on them of how they were intended to be used. Of course, that has nothing to do with how we will ultimately use them, right? But they give us an idea of how they were intended to be used. Can you see the way that I hold these? They are, see, they're little punch outs. I don't want them to punch out right now, but, and then on the back, they have a way that can indicate the memory that they're supposed to represent. But are those just not the cutest? And so those are little punch out memory cards. Now you may see some of these, let's see if we can do this, so they're off screen more. Okay, these are hearts to cut out. Now on the front, you can see that they have them, after they've cut them out, they've attached them with a little wire or a string or something, and then they've slid them across. So that gives you a good idea of something you can do with them. Aren't those pretty? And then I thought also, and you may have a million things running through your mind. But then we'll also have some pretty paper left after that, and we could use punches on that extra pretty paper. So here it shows you on the back your cutting lines and then your fold lines. They leave nothing to chance. And of course, again, you do whatever you want with them, but here are, well, like 3 pages of hearts. Different sizes. And they also, in the description, use several different languages. So, okay, I'm going to reach, and we're going to go up here with that. Okay, these are photo frames. Again, described right there and all ready to punch out. So you've got some mats here that you could use for photo frames. I hope you can tell because I'm really not ready to punch anything out yet. Okay, here's a larger size. And then here's a different size. And both sides in a different pattern. So you could use whichever one you want. Aren't those gorgeous? You could use it in your memory keeping also, in your planner. I know I'm going to have to speed up. So this first one folded out like this. So it's got several different options on it. Okay, I'm not going to be able to be that lengthy on each one of them. This one says PASSE, part out. I have no idea what that is. Absolutely none. So if you know, would you write it in the comments? Okay, there's that. Here is bags to fold. They give you the instructions, and then you end up with a pretty little bag that ends up looking like this. And this bag ends up looking like that. I'm going to try to go a little faster. Bookmarks. Those are pretty. You can laminate. Here is matching letter paper. Oh my gosh, these are so cute. So you have letter paper, then you have an envelope that they give you instructions on how to do. Isn't that gorgeous? And then you still got extra little paper afterwards that you can do things with. Oh, I love it. And then here is matching letter and an envelope. Oh, gorgeous. Isn't that paper just beautiful? And then some scrapbook paper also. Just give us some extra scrapbook paper because why not? Gorgeous. Okay. Here is this has an assortment of things in it. Proverb to frame. These are vintage. This is a vintage advertisement. Oh, so neat. This is a mood image. There are several of these in here. I don't really know what that means either. This is another mood image. This is a to-do list. That's all it says. But wouldn't that be neat? Laminated and in a binder. That's kind of a big to-do list, but I guess it could go on the fridge, on your desk, wherever. Backside to-do list. Coloring picture. Origami. So this kind of has an assortment of things. This is another vintage advertisement. Here is dresses to fold. Isn't that amazing? I think those are so cool. And then it just says dresses to fold. I don't know how that all works. Once you get it folded, I guess when you start on that, you get it figured out. I don't know. That'll probably be one of the last things I tackle, but this is Love Book. And then this all says Love Book also. I think these are just little loves that you With Valentine's coming up, isn't this perfect? Okay, well I missed a page in there turning, but another coloring book. And then this just says welcome signs. Gorgeous carousel. That's probably another coloring page, isn't it? I'm not doing the coloring thing now, but I know so many people are. Okay, and then this is a cookbook for you to write favorite recipes in. Isn't that neat? So you get to personalize your things. So here's your dish, and then here's your shopping list. Isn't that gorgeous? That could also almost make someone like me that doesn't cook much want to cook. Almost. Isn't that pretty? So we're going to stop here with this. We're going to end, and then I'll do a second video right after this to show you the other things, and we get into a big assortment there also, and that'll be about the other half of the book. So this is Daphne's Diary paper box, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm just ecstatic with it, and so happy I went ahead and purchased it. So be sure and do the thumbs up if you like the video. Subscribe if you want to do that. We'd love to have you join us. The subscriptions mean so much. And oh, you know what I was going to mention? You guys probably saw that I paper marked a lot of things with these, and you'll recognize those as come from the dollar spot. If anybody out there is going to do a Target run, I told you 120 miles from a Target, and I never get to do the Target thing. So if anybody would be at all interested when you make your Target run in doing some of the new Valentine's Day, picking up one of about everything for me, I would love that so very much. I would compensate you for absolutely everything, postage, everything, but that's the only way I get good Target stuff, and the Valentine's things look so amazing. So if anybody would kindly do that, just send me a message or something, and that would be most amazing. So anyway, you know what? It's going to be next year before I see you, but I will see you in the second part to this video, which will be next year. Have a safe, wonderful night, and I will see you soon, which will actually be next year. Thanks, guys. Bye.